So if you didn't already know, I want my yard to look perfect. I'm always trying to make it have better grass or things of that nature. And so I've been working on it for 3 years now. We've been in this house 4 years, and it was junk when we started. So here's several of the things that we do on the yearly basis is overseed and then fertilize, use a bunch of weed killer, things of that nature. And so you'll see stuff on this channel showing the process of some of the stuff that I do. Can you pull the pins out?
No. Look, I can't with these.
You be working on those pins, okay?
I can't get them out.
So I use this yard rake on the back of the tractor before I seed. I had a lot of stuff this year that didn't come in when we done this wall. Some of the grass come in great and some of it didn't. It was just so hot and dry here. But as you can see, I run that yard rake over this before I seed it, and it really tears the ground up extremely well. I mean, perfect for seeding, in my opinion. But we'll see how it does once it comes in. But you guys can see here, that's one pass over it. You could probably go 3 or 4 passes over it, but you can see where the line of the rake would go through, down through there. And I just kind of scar the ground so that the seed, when it rains, a lot of that loose dirt will give the seed something to take hold to. We're gonna put some different grass seed today. You guys can give me your opinion on what works better, but I'll show you over here. Really impressed how you just take one pass through there and it just tears the ground up to where it's loose dirt all over. And our ground is extremely hard. So don't think that this grass and ground is perfect. We're in the middle of Kentucky, literally. Here's another part. Well, hon, hold on. But you can see here, I run over that after I went through it, but you can see where it hit right there. And it just goes over the ground and scars the ground like not even a 1/4 of an inch. You tell me when I'm getting close to it, all right? Watch out, let me get close to it. Let me get back up there to it. You watch out of the way, and then you can get over and hook it up. Hold on, now I gotta be right up on it. All right, thank you. Hooked up. Tell you what, you're a really good helper. You know what?
What did I hook this up to?
You gotta hook it up to the PTO right here. You hook it up to this PTO. Let me help you. Here, let's move this over here. We'll leave that sit right there because that extends out. Let's get these hooked up, and then we'll put the pins in, and then I'll show you how to do that. It's a good thing you got the helmet on there. You're bumping that head on everything. All right, can you lift this up? It's the same lever over there. You just push it up. Go this way with it. Whoa. That's the best grass seed. Do you? So that's probably my guess too. This one's a tall fescue mix. Scott's. I normally wouldn't buy this. I would normally just buy the Kentucky 31 or this new Kentucky 32 that they've come out with. From my understanding, this is supposed to be a more drought-tolerant grass seed. I picked this up for about $95. These are normally a little over $100 a bag, but I found them on Amazon for, I think it was like $55 or $56 a bag. And then I've got this Kentucky 31 tall fescue. That's what I normally sow. You used to could pick this up for 75 or 80 bucks for 50 pounds, but now it's anywhere from 100 to 130. So I picked a bunch of it up, a bunch of the Scots, which the Scots I got a really good deal on. It's a coated seed. I'll show you the picture. So I'm gonna mix them all together in here and just spread them out and see how they do. I probably should just spread some in some area and some in other, but I really don't care enough to do that. I'm just spreading grass seed and covering a lot of the dead spots in my yard. I'll show you where I ran that rake over in the front. This is one pass too, but it also will dethatch your yard at the same time. So one thing that I hate, I think, I'm not no lawn expert yet. I'm working on it, but I think this is Bermuda grass. I can look it up and tell you, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll put it in the video once I make this, but not that piece. But this stuff here, once it gets in your grass, it's like a vine. And from my understanding, it grows in Florida really well and other places. I absolutely hate it. It's some of the worst looking grass ever. Stripes like garbage. But once it gets in there, it's so evasive. And you can see out here in my yard out here that you got your lawn spreader. Okay, you're gonna use that one while Daddy uses the tractor. But look at this area over here in my yard. I'll zoom in on it. All of that and all of this over here in this area, that Bermuda just it all come from over there. But it's just slowly started spreading and I've tore it all up. But when you run that rake through it, it breaks the vininess up. And
this too.
Yeah, and that too. But it breaks the strands of it up so it's not spread through there. And then I'll hit it with the only thing that I've found that takes a toll on it is tenacity. If you guys know something better than tenacity to kill it, but at the same time I can't kill my regular grass. So I have fescue and bluegrass in this yard, and it was a mess before I started working on it, but you guys can see. I'll see if I can find a picture of when we first moved in. I mean, it was just field grass. Someone had, when they sown this grass originally, they just sow I guess a contractor's mix. You sowing some right now? Look up in the sky. Look what's passing over the house. Huge blimp. Look at that, Wells. So this is about 2 weeks after doing that. We've hit a cold spell and the grass has pretty much stopped growing, but you can see up through there all the patches that's come in and even the spots. There's still some grass that hasn't even taken off. In the springtime, it'll really tell how much has come up, but a lot more grass there than what was there. What do you think, Wells? You see all the baby grass? A little bitty fuzz, chia pet grass.
I see a lot.
So here's how it turned out. We put all this out in November and then went over it with that cedar. I did several spots in the yard, and this is how it turned out. We ran through this with the tractor a few times, so you can see where the tires killed that spot. I'll have to go over that again, but it made a huge improvement and the grass come through really, really well. This is all clay. It's completely garbage, and I don't know, you guys can be the judge, but I thought it did well. This has got a bunch of gravel. I've got to get it cleaned up, but this is February right now. I would say in 2 months, this will be real thick. Like I said, I'll probably go over it one more time with seed. See how it does in. Trying to get it all ready for some mowers to come in this year. Hopefully I can get X-Mark out here, and I'd like to get a Spartan. I'd love to try one of the new high-end Graveleys. see how they do, and then run all of them against the hyperdrive. All right, so it's now April of 2023, and I was going to show you guys how this ended up. I didn't end up overseeding again, so this is just to where I took the yard rake and run it over it. As you can see how it's come through. I mean, it's come through really, really well. You almost can't even see. Now, like I said, these two spots here are where we ran the tractor through and killed some of the seed. But I think that it would have all come through perfect if I wouldn't have had to drive through any of it. But I ended up planting trees all down this line back here. And then on the back side over here, in between having that, and you can see up through here how all of that come in. Now this, I ended up running through a few more times because we put in these steps and stuff over here, or a buddy of mine did. Green Thumb Lawn Care, if you guys are needing anything. But if you see these stairs here, we put those in, and they had to drive through this several times, but you can still see that it come in really, really well, even to have to drive through that. And around this come in well. So that yard rake deal, it broke up the ground perfectly for that seed to take off. Some of it was coated seed, and some of it was just regular seed. And then up here in the front, as you remember, I did the same thing. And I actually went over the whole yard with that rake to scratch it. And as you can see over there, I no longer have all of that mess in the yard where it was all Bermuda grass, and every bit of it come in with fescue. I probably need to put a little bit more on this, but I'll show you guys right in here. So, I mean, it come through. There's a few little spots that it didn't take. And this here is a spot where I'm always running through with stuff. And I don't know if I just didn't hit that well or what. But all in all, it worked out really well. I mean, this grass come in thick.